What's up, everybody? My name's Joey Meddock. Thanks for tuning in to the Meddock Photo YouTube channel. This is something new for me, but I'm super excited about it. I've got some really great helicopter content on the way. I'm going to be posting shorts every day if I can keep up with it, or every other day. And the long form videos are going to be more on the 1st and the 15th. So make sure you got that subscribe button turned on. Tell a friend about it. If you like helicopter content, share it with a friend. That would be great. And I'd love to see your comments below, of course. Stick around to the end of the video. I got a great photo tip for you for your videos or photography. Coming from my experience, I'd love to share that with you. All right, let's get into it. So what is Meddock Photo? Well, Meddock is obviously my last name. Photography is what I did for 20 plus years. I was in the action sports, water sports in particular industry. And that's where the handle comes from. So Meddock Photo is what I've been using on Instagram. You can find me there. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, I'm under Meddock Photo. Twitter is under just @Meddock. So those are my last name. And a couple of handles, so you can find me on some of the other social networks. I'll leave a link to those in the description below. A little bit about myself. Grew up in water sports. I grew up on the lake. I was very fortunate to be in the water sports industry at a young age. I used to wakeboard myself, and then I started getting into photography and stuck with it for about 20 plus years. I've traveled all over the world shooting photos, been to various countries, been published in magazines from all over the world, started my own magazine called The Standard Quarterly. Then we went to a weekly app in the App Store called Wake Journal, which was a digital publication. So I've got experience in not only just photography, but publishing, copywriting, editing, advertising, various backgrounds that come with the ball of wax that falls in the photography bucket. I was fortunate to receive Photographer of the Year awards from Wakeboarding Magazine both 2008 and 2010. And then 2010, I also got the Photo of the Year from Wakeboard Magazine, which was a photo of my good friend Sean Murray. Why start a YouTube channel? Well, my background. I've got a little bit of video editing experience with Captured, Welcome, and Blacklist. And now I found my niche, which is flying. So they always tell you on YouTube, make sure you find your niche and have a niche. And so I think combination of those three things, I have a leg up on some people. Why not give it a shot? So here we are. What got me into flying? Great question. So I was living in California at the time. My sister was dating a guy who was an EMS pilot, and he had a lot of time off, and I didn't really know what he did yet. But I was like, what do you do? I was like, you're always off. And he's like, oh, I'm a helicopter pilot. I was like, oh, I like to be off all the time. He got me encouraged to start flying, or at least start looking into it. I had a house in Florida at the time, so he's like, sell your house. He's like, you've got equity in your house. You're single, you're skinny. He's like, do it while you can before you have a family, before you settle down. And that's exactly what I did. So I sold my house in Florida, made best use of that equity that I had in the real estate, put it into my flight school. I was able to only concentrate on school without having to work, which was a huge benefit while I was in flight school to increase my timeline to graduate. Where did I go to flight school? I went to flight school in Troutdale, Oregon, called Hillsboro Heli Academy. I'd strongly recommend it. It was a great school. They have tons of aircraft, tons of inventory, which means you're going to be able to fly a lot. So Hillsboro Heli Academy is where I did my private license, which I got first. And then I went to my instrument training, and then I did commercial, which enables me to fly and get paid for it. And then I got my certified flight instructor certificate, also called a CFI, and then CFII, which is a certified flight instructor instrument, which means you can teach instrument. I started in 2019, I went to 2020, so I graduated in August of 2020, not knowing how long it was going to take for me to actually get a job because of the 2020 curveball. However, I just kept applying and got lucky, and I headed out to Duluth, Minnesota, where I was a certified flight instructor for Lake Superior helicopters. That was my first flight job. So I was in Duluth, Minnesota for quite some time, and then I took my opportunity to go down to Orange Beach, Alabama, where I started flying tours along the beach. I stayed there for about a year, and it was super cool. I was up and down the coastline of Florida, Alabama, Pensacola area, and super sharky water, so it was really cool looking down at all the wildlife in the water all the time. From Orange Beach, I went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, flew there for about 6 months. I did a 6-month contract, and then once I finished Myrtle Beach, and then December 1 of last year, I started Orlando, Florida, which is coincidentally where I'm from. What do I do when I'm not making videos? I love getting on the water still. I love being out on the boat. I do enjoy wakeboarding or wake surfing. Anything water sports is just nice to cool off. Love playing golf if the temperature's right. And of course, I love shooting photos. So I'm always shooting with my phone, or I don't really use the Nikon, my big camera, too much anymore. It's just so convenient to use your phone. GoPro. I love going snowboarding. So I try and get an annual snowboard trip at least once a year. Just a great way to get out of the heat, cool off, still be involved in board sports. Gotta get my snowboard trips in. I'll always shoot photos the rest of my life. I'll never stop doing it. I enjoy it. I don't want to do it for a living necessarily, but it's something I'm passionate about. Best and worst part about flying? Well, there's tons of perks. There's not too many cons to it. Getting to fly every day, driving to work is such a really cool feeling. You call that work. It is a time commitment, but you're doing what you love. And you get lots of endless YouTube content. All the stuff you're seeing, this stuff that's more on the comedic value, is 100% true. So I see just absolutely everything in the tour business from the various companies that I've worked for already. There's this endless content. So I really enjoy that part of it. You never know what to expect. Every day is different flying here in Orlando. Passengers are always different. You're always going to get curveballs thrown at you. Really keeps you on your toes, keeps you proficient. You get plenty of takeoff and landing experience because you fly every single day. And the worst part about it, there's nothing worse, really bad about it. It can be pretty repetitive in the tour business. You're doing circles endless amount of times a day. Mentally, you get drained. If you can call that the worst part, it's really not that bad. Any scary passengers? Yeah, unfortunately, people try to grab the controls. They don't do it on purpose. I give them a good briefing before we take off. Do not touch the controls. And it's one of those things where you say it and then they do it. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. I like to say it anyway. I guard the controls pretty heavily so people don't accidentally do it. And again, they don't do it on purpose. They just flinch and they start to reach for something, and sometimes those are the controls. It's happened a couple times, and it definitely scared me and got my attention, but you're kind of ready for it. You're kind of ready for anything is the best way to approach it. I had a kid unbuckle my seatbelt, which was just odd, but I felt it, release. I caught it pretty quick. Not that big of a deal, but I'd rather that not happen. A couple bird strikes that are pretty close. We get lots of bald eagles sometimes in Florida. I had a close call with a bird strike in my flight training. We had the door off and pretty close call. It would have ended up in my lap, but we caught it at the last minute and avoided it. I came from a great school, so they're super well trained as far as emergency procedures and just reacting and not thinking. So I haven't had any close calls that are rather too scary, and hopefully I can keep it that way. What's the best tip I've received? So $100 bills are nice. I've gotten that a few times. I made a shorts video about how to tip your helicopter pilot. I'll leave a link below. Pretty comical, but all of those things that you see that I did were everything that's happened in the tour business over time. So other helicopter tour pilots, I think, will get a kick out of that if you want to check out the link. How to tip your helicopter pilot, I'll leave that below. Worst tip I've ever received, maybe, if it's raining, you should probably use an umbrella. Yeah, kind of a slap in the face, not really that funny. I'd rather you just quietly leave and not give me that. He thought it was hilarious, but, you're just sitting there doing it all day. I was like, that's a good one. I'll remember that. Thanks. And the pro tip I promised you at the beginning of the video. So I see a lot of people not paying attention to light. So my pro tip for you, if you're shooting a video or whether it's photography or video, pay attention to the lighting. So right now, as you can see here, granted my background's not the best, I'll admit that, but I'm sitting right next to a window on purpose, and I wanted to make sure the audio sounded well, so I have a microphone in front of me. But I worked outside for more than 20 years outside photography. Usually the sun's at your back, works the best, so it lights up the subject, but not always. It's not really a rule set in stone. But just pay attention to where it is. Really pay attention to what the shadows are doing. So if you have somebody that has a hat on, you're going to get a shadow on their face. See if you can use artificial light. You could bounce light. Just put effort into where the light is. I watch stuff all the time and I see it immediately. That's never even crossed their mind where the light was. So a lot of stuff comes out really dark. Shadows are super distracting. You can't see people's eyes. Pro tip to you, pay attention to the light. Keep it at your back for the most part. Use artificial light. Try to use a fill light. GoPro has a great lighting kit that they sell with their GoPro cameras now. That's really incredible. It's an LED. And I use a LumeCube a lot as well. I'll leave that in the link below. They have really small, portable, and waterproof lights that are easy to use and very powerful. All right, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in and subscribing, sharing it with a friend. Got lots of great content coming up. You can find me on some of those other social networks. If you want to reach out, feel free. I'll also leave a link to the photo resume background if you want to see some more photos, stuff that I've done, magazine covers, places I've traveled to, behind the scenes, photos like that. 20-year edit in less than 4 minutes, which is on my YouTube channel. So appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see you next time. We got some good stuff coming. Peace.